How do you defend yourself when accusations come? We just preached a sermon on being delivered from the evil one. Sometimes accusations come from within. Our hearts condemn us, and sometimes accusations come from outside. How do we respond? In Psalm 26, David is being accused of corruption, of being a bad king. And you can look at his prayer in the psalm, and you can think he's resting on, I'm really moral, I'm really good, I do the right things. And of course, if you know anything about David's life, you know that that's hardly the overall characterization of his life. He committed adultery, he murdered, he covered it up, all sorts of things. So he's not looking back and saying, my life is good enough. And if you try to defend yourself by saying, my life is good enough, I've done a good enough job, well, good luck with that, because I think that all of us, when we feel condemnation, we know we should. So what does David do? Well, in verse 2 and 3, verse 1 and 3, he really tells us, he says, I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. He says, I walk in your faithfulness. David points to his life as evidence that he trusts in God. His foundation is he trusts in God. His hope when he's accused is his trust in God. That's the thing that gets him through. And he says, look, because I trust in God, I'm trying to live with integrity. And I love God's house. I love God's presence. I love God's people. Because the ultimate hope we have is not our faithfulness, but God's faithfulness. Because, as the Bible says, when our hearts condemn us, God is greater than our hearts. What does that mean? God, a God of grace and mercy, who went to the cross to forgive us, to take the condemnation upon himself for our sake. So, when accusations come, trust in God that he forgives and that he covers.